Oh, I guess I should. I guess I should introduce myself first. Hi, my name is Courtney, and I am really passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself. And I gotta tell you, today is definitely one of those dang days. I don't feel good. I am flaring really bad. It cooled off, and it's so funny. I've turned into such a wimp so fast. My girlfriend from home told me this morning it was 30 below zero at her house. Yeah, it was 40 degrees here today, and I had on a long sleeve shirt. I had on a coat. Certainly wasn't wearing sandals. I went into town this afternoon. I had my heat up to 80. I had the seat warmers on high. I even had my steering wheel warmer on. And I'm like, this does not bode well for my trip to Alaska next week. But I got chilled last night. Now, I was fine once I got up and put on warmer pajamas. I was totally fine. But I got cold. And unfortunately for me, getting cold, that's all it takes to flare me up. And I want to be clear. I feel a hell of a lot better in Texas than I do in Alaska. And I'm extremely grateful to only feel like this once in a while instead of feeling like this every freaking day. I gotta tell y'all, it's been a difficult, damned day. And I'm a pretty positive person, but this stuff gets to you. So let's talk about the emotional impact of chronic pain. And you know what? This information is from me. Now I pulled some stats and I of course sourced them, but this is just this is what I've come up with over the years of dealing with this because it's hard, y'all. According to Psychology Today, 100 million Americans, that's almost a third of all Americans, deal with chronic pain. That's a pretty staggering number when you think about it. Now, there's no hard data regarding suicide, but sufferers are believed to be twice as likely to commit suicide as healthy people. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I get it. I would never do that, but I get it. The thing is, it's not just physical. In fact, on a day like this, the physical aspect of it, yeah, it sucks and I hurt really bad, but that's the least of it. It is so emotionally devastating. The ubiquitous they, and I have no idea how they would measure this, but they say that a good day for someone like me is like you having the flu body aches. Well, how productive for you the last time you had the flu? How much exercise did you get the last time you had the flu? Probably not a lot on either count, but that's a good day for me. Today was not a great day for me. Fibromyalgia flares, the best way I've ever heard them described is a full body migraine. Well, if you've had a migraine, you're like, oh, damn, that's horrible. If you've never had a migraine, I know that means nothing to you. It's just such an overwhelming cascade of symptoms. I get extraordinarily light, smell, and sound sensitive. In fact, when I was in town today, I was in this place and they were playing music, and the music stopped for just a couple of minutes. And when it started back up, it wasn't any louder than it had been. But man, when it started back up, my head started just pounding. And it gets, I know this sounds so crazy. This is a really lightweight shirt. I love this shirt because it's soft and it's comfortable and it's great for a chilly day. But my clothes are uncomfortable on days like this. Just the pressure of this really soft, pretty lightweight shirt against my skin it's not excruciating, but I'm extremely aware of it. Um, I wear leggings because they're as close as I can get to wearing pajamas out of the house. And leggings, if for anybody who wears them, they're soft, they're comfortable, they move with you. On a day like this, the pressure of the leggings on my skin is just it's it's maddening. Bear with me. I know how insane this sounds, but and this is actually a semi-famous quote in the chronic illness, or at least in the fibromyalgia community. She said her hair hurts. Well, yeah, it's not that my actual hair hurts, but like when I move my head, I can feel my hair moving against my scalp. Again, it's not an excruciatingly unpleasant thing, but it's not a normal thing. And it's really uncomfortable. And it's like everything, my nerves are just super hyper alert. How relaxed do you think I am when my nerves are on high alert all freaking day? This has been going on since the middle of the night last night. And I mean, to a just insane level. And you know what? If you're dealing with this, if you're the one that's got the chronic illness, dealing with the chronic pain, guess what? You're entitled to be pissed off. You are. You're entitled to grieve. You're entitled to throw a tantrum. But you can't live there because it's not going to do you any freaking good. Trust me, if being pissed off about this stuff would solve anything, I would have figured this out a long time ago, because I spent years being really angry about it and being frustrated. And I still have those days. Today was one of them. I am not in a good mood. I'm a very sunny natured person. I'm a very positive, upbeat person. I am not very sunny today. I'm cranky. But here's the thing. What I dwell on, that I bring more of that into my life. Plus, you get back what you put out there, whether you're putting it out to other people or if it's just your attitude in general, you're going to get that back. I don't want this back. I don't want this back. I have enough of this crap. I don't need any more. So how do you cope? How do you deal with the high pain days? First and foremost, you need to find some positive influences. Books, the Bible. The Bible is a great resource when you're struggling. There's a book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I love that book. Life's Golden Ticket by Brendon Burchard. That's a nice, light, easy read. It's a great introduction to personal development work. 15 Irrefutable. Is that the right name? No, I knew that was wrong. The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That's one of my favorite books. I've been reading. Oh, I can't show you my notebook because my computer's sitting on it, so it's up higher. I have a notebook seriously this thick of notes I've taken on the 15 laws. It's an incredible book, and it's really helping transform my life. There's a great book called One Shot, One Life that a dear, dear friend of mine wrote. The Body Keeps the Score. If you've got a lot of unresolved trauma, that book can help you so much. But you need to find something that resonates with you. So just, if you don't want to buy stuff, go to the library. Start looking at personal development books. Now, I know you're thinking, screw you, I don't want to do that. I understand. But I'm telling you, if you want to cope with this stuff better, you can't. Look, if you could cope with it being the person you are right now, you wouldn't be paying attention to this conversation, because you wouldn't have to. You need to change who you are. You need to change your beliefs. You need to become the kind of person who can roll with these punches a lot better. And to do that, you're going to have to work on yourself. The time's going to pass regardless. What the hell else are you going to do with it? You can go to podcasts. You can go to YouTube. Stephanie Lynn Coaching is a favorite. Brendon Burchard, Chalene Johnson. Above Inspiration is one of my favorite YouTube channels. Trent Shelton is a really uplifting guy, at least in my opinion. You need to develop healthy habits. You need to exercise. Now, I know if you're dealing with chronic pain, I know exactly what you're thinking, because you're thinking precisely what I thought when people used to tell me this before I got active. But I'll tell you what, I haven't convinced a lot of other women with fibromyalgia to start exercising, but every single one that I have talked into it has come back to me and said, oh my gosh, you're right. Well, I know I'm right. You know how I know I'm right? Because I've been there. Like this morning, I was miserable. I was literally huddled in a ball in bed. I was half in tears. I'm like, how am I gonna get up and face the day? I didn't want to move. But in the back of my head, I knew the only way I was going to be able to make any change, any real impact on this pain, was to get off my ass, drag my sorry, achy ass out of bed and exercise. Was it easy? No. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I really did, because I like to exercise. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and do insanity, but walk, yoga, Tai Chi, just move. You know what does it for me? Belly dance. I absolutely love to belly dance. And you know what a really cool aspect of that is? Because I have a lot of muscle tension, issues from my mid back up to the base of my skull and down both shoulders. I get a ton of tension. Well, guess what? Belly dance forces me to open that part of my back. It, of course, opens your hips. I think I just said, of course, too many times, but it opens your hips, which opens your lower back. It's really good for your spine. And it's, for me, it's something I can just get caught up in. And sorry, I'm really itchy today because my nerves are on high alert. I'm not a good dancer. At least I don't know. I only dance for myself, so I have no idea. I've never taken formal lessons. I just work with someone off of Patreon. But when I'm dancing, I can get so caught up in what I'm doing that all the BS, all the pain, all the stress, it just fades. It doesn't go away, but it fades into the background. And you know what? That is an invaluable thing on a day like this. Exercise has tremendous physical and emotional benefits. You need to meditate. There's mantra meditations, there's guided meditations, there's breath meditations, walking meditations, tapping meditations. Prayer is a great form of meditation. Find what works for you. Now, I've done a lot of mantra meditations. I've done a lot of guided meditations. I've done, in fact, all of these. My favorites are tapping meditations, and if I'm in the right mood, guided meditations. I say in the right mood because if I'm really full of anxiety or stress, I can't stand guided meditations because it's too hard for me to focus. But you know what's great for that? Tapping meditations. Just look up The Tapping Solution by Nick Ortner, Ortner. It's phenomenal. A journal. A journal is a really healthy way to deal with the uncomfortable emotions that come with dealing with chronic pain, because of course there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable emotions. There's anger, there's sadness, there's grief, hell, there's despair. You can think I'm as melodramatic as you need to. I don't really give a damn what you think. There's a lot of despair that goes on with this. Oh, damn. Hang on. It's very easy to get caught in the mental cycle of this isn't ever going to change, which logically I know that's not true. But as a former counselor told me repeatedly, logic and emotions rarely go hand in hand. A journal is a really good way to deal with these uncomfortable, unpleasant emotions. And, don't label those emotions as negative. Yeah, they suck, but they play an important role and they can teach us a lot. I highly, highly recommend that you start keeping a journal and dealing with these uncomfortable emotions on paper. It'll really help you process through them. I also recommend that if on a day when my journal is just full of anger and negativity and screw this and screw that, and I hate everybody, because I get like that sometimes, not gonna lie to you. I try to end it on something positive, which brings me to my next point. You got to be grateful. You need to be grateful. And I know when you're up to here in the BS, it's hard. It's hard to be grateful, but you have to. Gratitude changed my life. It really did. I try to, especially on a challenging day when I just emotionally vomited, excuse the expression, all over my journal. I like to end it with 3 things that I'm grateful for. Why? Because now I've just gotten all that crap off my chest, which is really healthy. But now it's also, for me, it's fresh in my mind, and I'm a ruminator. So if I switch gears and okay, so this was horrible and that was horrible, but these are 3 things that I'm grateful for. It really helps settle my mind, and it helps me stop with the ruminating. You need to celebrate your wins. Look, if you're really having a crap day If you wake up like I did and you're in so much pain, you don't even know how the hell you're going to move, how you're going to face your day, but you got up and you pulled it together. I don't care if all you did was go from the bedroom to the couch. That's a win. It really is. You know, it's a big win for me, which I'll admit this is something I struggle with. If you're having a crappy day and you give yourself permission to take the day and just relax and not just lay there and, oh my God, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And oh, the dishes and the laundry. But or for me, work, I should be doing this, that, or the other. If you can just take a day and okay, today's it. I give myself permission. That is a freaking tremendous win. You need to celebrate that. That's something you should write down. Those are things you should be grateful for. For me, something that really helps, pulling myself together, putting my face on. Now, I'm lucky. I don't have to do a damn thing with my hair, and it usually looks okay. But pull yourself together. And I'm not saying you got to be the makeup and high heels girl. That's who I am, but that's because that's who I choose to be. But pull yourself together. Take a shower. Brush your teeth. Those things sound elementary, but you'd be amazed at how many people choose not to brush their teeth every day. I know I was when my dental hygienist and I were talking about it. You know, I get accused of being high maintenance or accused of being shallow because I like to put my makeup on. I like to have my nails done. I like to wear high heels. Well, you know, maybe that is shallow to you. To me, it means I care enough about myself to pull myself together. Our appearance, how we present ourselves to the world, that's a huge piece of, I almost said invaluable. Well, it is invaluable, but of, oh my gosh, I'm totally blank. Nonverbal. That's what I'm looking for. That is a tremendous piece of nonverbal communication. So make sure that however you present yourself, that's how you want to present yourself to the world, because you're going to be judged on that, like it or not. Side note, you're going to be judged on that the same way you judge other people on that. You need to let it go. Look, stop beating yourself up over the crap you can't do, because you know what? This thing of you can have everything, it's a load of bullshit. It's just bullshit. That is the biggest lie that has been perpetrated on especially women. I'm sorry, you can't do it all. Especially if you have health issues, you can't do it all. You know why? Healthy people can't do it all. That is such a lie. Don't buy into that. Let things go. You might have to accept that your house isn't going to be as clean as you want to. Okay. Who are you trying to keep it that clean for? I understand. Look, I get it feels so good to have your space clean. I get that. But if your choice is between accepting a little bit of a mess or driving yourself absolutely crazy and pushing yourself to your physical and emotional limit, let it go. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense, does it? You got to let these things go. You've got to just accept your situation. You know what else you need to let go of? Negative people. If someone doesn't lift you up, you don't have the energy for that. You should not have the time, energy, or patience for those people. Do not give your power away to negative people. You can't afford it. You can't afford it a lot more than healthy people. Bye, Felicia. Thank you. Next. It's, you've got to set boundaries and you've got to stick to them. And sometimes that boundary is letting people go. Obviously, I could rant on this all night, but I'm about to wrap it up, especially since I'm getting messages that my dinner is ready. I'm so grateful for my friends. I truly am. But you need to remember, you have to be kind to yourself and to others, even when the others don't deserve it. You need to remember, this is one of my favorite sayings, this too shall pass, because it will. I have never yet had a flare, no matter how horrible it is. It passes eventually. Tomorrow really is another day. And you know what? If tomorrow's not better, then there's always the next day. And finally, you've got to remember, and this is something that it's actually harder for me than I thought it was, because I used to say, oh, I don't do that, but I do. You are not your illness. You are not your diagnosis. You are not your symptoms. Don't let that shit become your identity. You are so much more than that. And I know it's easy to get into that trap, believe me, because when I realized that this stuff had become my identity was a couple of years ago when my mentor asked me, what would your life be like if you were healthy? And I was just like, I can't even imagine that. And it's still hard for me to imagine. I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I will say being in the much milder winter climate here in Texas has made a tremendous impact on my ability to be able to look at what my life would be like if I were healthy. But anyway, my dinner is ready. I am freaking exhausted and cranky, so I am going to go. I hope you'll have a fantastic weekend. Look, you have any questions? I know I'm not on Facebook very much, but drop me a line. In case you couldn't tell, this is something I'm really passionate about. You know why I do these videos? Because I remember when I was diagnosed, I didn't have a damn person to look to who could tell me, yeah, okay, you got a crappy deal. So now what are you going to do? Here's how you need to cope with it. Here's some advice on how you can pull yourself together and make the best of your situation. Y'all take care. I'll see you Monday.